Hello and namaste to everyone. So let's start for today. Today I'm going to talk about the differences that I saw between my country parenting and my country, which I mean is Nepal. Also, it's same with the India, and the difference in European parenting. So, in my country, uh, when a child is born, then parents from the beginning invest all of their energy, all of their financial resources, everything toward the child until that child actually uh, has his own life, which is not in 18, could be 24, could be 30. uh, but also it is expected, because if you are a son, you probably would be the one who will take care of your father and mother, and if you are a daughter, then it's parents' responsibility for them to for your marriage, and then that's the only time they will be out of their responsibility towards you. In that process, what I have witnessed is the parents invest lots of money, energy, love, and complete sacrifice from their desires. And it is so basically that is expected from parents, like in our culture that is expected from parents, and the parents actually do not complain about that. However, that actually does come out in other parts, even though they do not complain directly, but the other parts of their life or the conversation will deliver that message to you that they actually sacrificed a lot for you. However, because and I think they sacrifice a lot, because in our country we do not have pension system. So your children is your retirement. In our country, the children is your responsibility, so government has no play in it. So basically it's on you. And those kind of societal aspects builds much more intense parenting, and that leads to us as a children also seeing, also able to see how much our parents does the sacrifice, how much our parents sacrifice for us, which actually helps to build that respect and to build that bond between parent and the children and us, in this case. So most of you will see, like, in Nepal and India, for children their parents are like the god. We give them much deep respect. We have very strong bond with our parents, and it is inherited in most of the children to give back or to pay back to their parents. That's why you also see the trend where most of Nepalese or the Indian children, they bring their parents in different countries where they live. So they wish that their parents would see such place, because they deserve to see, they did so much for you. Also, you know so basically there is this societal thing that is expected from parents, and parents does that without a complaint. The children sees how much sacrifice it takes, how much love your father and mother is giving toward you. So everything at the end is like planned, so everything goes according to the culture, you know. uh, However, in Europe, what happens, what I saw, or what I felt is happening is, whenever a child born, the parents is invested, of course, but if you compared the European parent investing to their children to Nepal, so it's not that much. And there is a reason for that. Of course, the love for their children is same to any parent anywhere in the world, so there is no difference in the love that you feel for your children, but it's the investment and it's the sacrifice that is bit different in Europe and in my country or in India. And I think there is a reason, and that reason is the societal aspect. Because in Europe, when a child is born, then it's not only the parents that has to step in, but it's the government that steps in also. It's like somehow government also take a share of the responsibility toward the children, and that is why there is a welfare check, and that is why the government actually pays out to the children. Yes, in some country there is bit more, it's bit more, in some country it's less, but that is telling of how government is taking part in every child in their country. And in Europe, most of the education system is government, so which is good. In my country, the government schools uh, are more not well maintained, and we will not get the same high quality of education if you would go for the private schools. So most of the parents are forced or are compelled to send their children to private schools, which are way expensive than the government schools. So but here in Europe, most of the children, they go to government schools. They do not have to pay much for the education, so the parent financial burden is lessened. So there is not much financial burden for the parents. And also, because the society expects the children to go out from the house, and once he or she turns 18, he or she is considered adult and needs to move out of the house. So the parenting itself is built around that, to make that person independent. The education system is also built around that, to make them independent. And they move out, and there is not much pressure from the society that if the children goes out and is successful or not, because at 18 nobody expects you to be successful. Whereas in Nepal, in my country, and in India, because the children is with you, and the children has to be the one who now takes care of the family, has to have some kind of success, for them to be able to do that. And everything is compared. Her son is compared to other son is compared to someone else's son. So there is always this constant pressure in the society, from the neighborhood, and it's built in like that. So there is pressure for the parents, and there is pressure for the children to deliver, you know so if the children is not successful, probably the society blames you, because you did not did enough. So that's the pressure for the parents to at least put them in a place where they are successful. That's why they give up everything in their life. But for also the children, it's too much pressure, because they are expected to be already something at the age of 25, at the age of 30, so that someone will not question their ability. So that kind of is immense pressure for both parenting and children, whereas here nobody cares about your son being in some prestigious position. Of course, the people who know, the people who are very close to you, but not as a whole society is expecting you to do something great, or for your children to turn out to be someone very successful. Nobody expects, because in 18 everybody is starting their life from the scratch. So that pressure is already not there, right? And the government has also taken the share of the burden or the responsibility, and that's why the parent here can enjoy more of the freedom for their life. Like they could go on a vacation, they could buy stuff they want, they could treat themselves, they could go out in a nice restaurant and eat. And that in that process, the parents are also living their life, while also the children lives their life after 18. So also because they have the pension, they are not completely they do not rely on their children to look after them. So all these societal things, the government thing, it makes completely different aspect for parenting in Europe, which for me, to be honest, is a very good thing, because it takes out the pressure from both, and both can enjoy their life. However, the caveat I found because of this aspect is that, and this is not case with all, okay, but I am trying to generalize the thing. So in general, the caveat is that the parents and the children do not have that deep bond as we have with our parents in Nepal or India. And I think it is completely because of that sacrifice that we see our parents do for us, and we take that in our heart, and we internalize, and we always have that with us, saying, oh, our parents did this for us. Whereas here, because you didn't so much sacrifice from your parents coming in, there is not much that there is not much of the feeling that you understand, like, okay, my parents did this for us, my parent did that for me. So I think because of that, the bond itself is not that deep, like how we have. And in our culture, we respect our father and mothers like a god, whereas in Europe, that's not the case. And also, the other caveat here is, like, sometimes parents do expect their children to get out of the house at 18 when they cannot, and some parents force their children to get out of the house, which even degrades the relationship further. And those are the aspects, because it goes a bit extreme, and there is not much of sacrifice involved. The bond and the respect itself is less than compared to my country or compared to India. So for me, as someone who have seen the both sides, for me, I think both have their extreme, and there is no one or the other for me. I think sometimes I think it's like we in Nepal should take some of the good aspects that's here, like government being more responsible toward the children, or at least I want to say this to Nepalese parents, or at least try to live your life a little bit, just do not pour everything for your children, because at the end, that's somewhere becomes resentment if your children is not able to give you all those things that you expected. because not everyone will have a good future, or everyone turns out to be successful. So at least if our parents start to live their own life a little bit more, that would be much better for them, so there is not much regret, not much resentment in the old age, and I have seen that even in the Western culture, where if they put a lot of effort to their children, and at the end, the children does not give the same output, they will not say it directly, but there is somewhere that trauma, or it's not trauma, but there is somewhere that emotions building up, and it comes out in some other thing, it is stressed out in some other stuff, you become more irritated with people, the things, the other stuff that comes out from there. So for me, I think there are some good points that we could actually take from Western culture and try to reduce those extreme end of our parenting. Uh, and for the Western culture also, I think the parents need to invest a bit more than they are investing at. And I think in Western culture, they should also avoid extreme, like expecting their children to go out completely at 18, trying to be more invested in their children. Me, I really appreciate what our parent does for us, but at the same time, I wish our Nepalese and Indian parents should start living their life a little bit, so that whole their youth is not gone, so that the things that they really wanted to do, they didn't do, because they wanted a good future for their child, but then the child did not out to be as expected, and now they have all the regrets. So that's all for now. I will come up with something else next time. Thank you.